Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Conscious crew. It is your favorite host, Consciouztv. Welcome to another riveting episode. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday and had an awesome, fantastical weekend. My God, this weekend was nothing short of magical for me. So I am hoping that you guys had nothing short of a supernatural, blessed, prosperous, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend, even underneath these very trying in the days times. We're here to unpack quite a bit. I'm gonna try to keep this video about 45 minutes long. Okay, so we're gonna be getting straight into it after I get my church announcements out the way. If you are feeling into the room, okay, the ushers will appoint you and walk you to the available seating. As you are entering into the sanctuary, please give me a nasty piece of thumbs up, okay? Thumbs upping this video will help YouTube to send it out into the YouTube verse, where other YouTube foreigners can see the kingdom, get recommended to the kingdom, and subscribe and support the kingdom, okay? So give me a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. It don't cost you nothing. And if you don't mind, please share out into all of your communities, Snapchat, Facebook, Grindr, BGC, Plenty of Fish. We don't really give a damn, okay? Because all promotion is free and full promotion and benefits us nonetheless, okay? I also want to shout out everyone who was obedient to Larry D. Reed, okay? You guys know me and Larry had a dialogue a few days ago, but it was Wednesday. I don't know when we had a dialogue, child. Time is warped in my mind right now. But he was encouraging everyone to donate $8.88 to my Cash App. And my God, there were hundreds of you who did that. Okay, so there's no way for me to list off everyone who donated. I just want to say thank you so much for the donation. I know you guys love me and appreciate what I do here and how hard I work, okay, to provide you guys with news you can use and entertainment and commentary. So thank you so much, and shout out to Larry for for sending out that commandment, child. Okay, if you also did not get to catch his and I's dialogue regarding the very victorious lawsuit that he is leading against a slanderer, okay, a insignificant blogger, definitely make sure to check that out. If you guys also want a play-by-play of what took place in pre-trial, make sure that you guys also sign up to the Patreon. We were not able to actually live stream it or play any audio from the pre-trial, which we didn't know that we couldn't do up until the last minute. However, I still gave you guys a epic play-by-play, all receipts, baby, all the court receipts, all the pacer.gov receipts also that followed that pre-trial conference to confirm, okay, that everything is leaning and yielding to Larry Reed's favor is also in the Patreon. Also, there was a attempt at a healing moment, okay, between content creator King Jobs and Andrea Garrison, okay, very intense. And I'm hoping that it's the first step of many. You know, sometimes we just got to get the rough stuff up out of us before we can get to the clarity and the self-awareness that we need, okay? So I'm hoping that them being able to empty out all of that intensity and passion and frustration that they had toward each other, I'm hoping that it acted as a road opener and that it will facilitate a more reconciling moment that will come in the future, hopefully the very near future. Okay, so sign up to the Patreon if you're not there, child. Lots of stuff is happening there. I'll also be live in Patreon tomorrow. So to all my patrons, honey, we will be live and in color. There's some things that I wanted to go over that I left out of my initial commentary regarding the play-by-play. Just some things I want to put a strong emphasis on. So be prepared for a Patreon live on Monday night. I would definitely set up the watch page, and you guys can definitely have your reminder set. Now, with that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and play our intro, and then we're going to get into why we're here on this God-given Sunday. Okay, and once again, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Speak to everybody in the building before we get off into the minutia, baby. Okay. Good morning to She Diaries. Hi, Cat Mouse. What's going on, T Trisha? Hey, Latrina. Hey, Juju. Hey, Jace. Hey, I Am Unique. What's going on? Good morning to you all. Yes, She. I put a 24-hour day, baby. I deserved everything I got that day. All blessings. All everything, baby. I was working for the kingdom. Oh, baby. I tore social media behind up, baby. I was at it since 3 a.m. And we didn't stop until 2 a.m. It was literally an entire day, baby, from sun up to sundown. It was on and cracking. But when duty calls, okay? Now we're here today, child, because Black men's fragility regarding their sexual orientation and masculinity is once again collapsing. I am expecting the Lil Boosie caboose to, you know, just roll on into town very soon, you know, because he represents a certain sector of the Black men's community who suffers from what I like to call, okay, big coochie insecurity. Okay, big coochie insecurity. Now, what big coochie insecurity is when a Black man is very aware of his own femininity, but rather than embrace and align, okay, and balance out that energy with his God-given masculinity, he instead develops, okay, a defensive posture toward the feminine divinity that dwells within him and all other living things. Okay, shout out to the Christian Bible. I made both male and female in my own image. Okay, all of humanity's, all souls, okay, possess femininity and masculinity, and these things exist, okay, simultaneously in each soul. Okay, now every soul has its own proportions and capacities for that femininity and masculinity, but nonetheless, baby, okay, all souls have it. Okay, so big coochie energy happens, okay, when a man, rather than embrace his femininity, develops a defensive posture toward that femininity, and then hatred, okay, for all things feminine, all things woman, all things allegedly sissified, okay, that there's this frustration and oppression that comes forth, okay, from the man, where he want to oppress and suppress and be violent emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually to all things, okay, feminine, because he's trying to beat down and obliterate the femininity that dwells within himself. Okay, so this would be toxic femininity. Okay, now women can also participate and also possess, okay, big coochie energy as well. Okay, men also possess and participate in big coochie energy. Okay, now this is not necessarily any fault of men in and of themselves, okay? Because ignorant is bliss, and when you don't know better, you can't do better. So living within the West, okay, Western society has very strong binaries. We are not educated about femininity and masculinity. We don't understand that sexuality is a spectrum either, okay? This creates a catastrophe amongst society, okay? This creates a lot of witch hunting against those who operate outside and exist outside of the feminine and masculine binary. This creates a lot of confusion and witch hunting against those who exist somewhere on the spectrum of sexuality instead of on the extreme polarity of homo and hetero, okay? There is all type of things in between: pan, bisexual, androphilia, genophilia. There's so much, okay, that makes up the gray space, okay, all the space in between east and west, north and south. But because of our geographical location and because of America being a big ass patriarchy, there's lots of knowledge, lots of authentic Black culture that has gone untaught, that has gone undownloaded, okay, into the Black community. And the Black church has substituted a lot of the raping of the Black culture for Black religious Christian ideology instead. So you have more Black people in America who know more about their white Jesus than they do about the ways, the beliefs, the practices, and the metaphysics of their ancestors. Okay, so there's a lot and a big number, okay, that white supremacy did unto the Black community, and that patriarchy did to the West in goddamn general. Now, there is the divine feminine has thrown another monkey wrench into the system. You guys know that we're moving out of a Piscean age and we're moving into the age of Aquarius, girl. And the age of Aquarius is also going to be greatly accompanied by the divine feminine. This is why we're seeing the LGBT movement. We're seeing women's equality movement. We're seeing a lot of focus around aspects and elements of the divine feminine. All of this is going to go hand in hand with a lot of the shifts and changes in the mood that we're going to be moving forward in this new age, okay? But the divine feminine thought to throw Russell Westbrook into the engine, honey. Now, okay, Black men's masculinity crumbles. Hold on, before I read my description, let me go ahead and pull up a picture of Russell Westbrook, okay? Hold on for 1 second, you guys. Let me pull up Mr. Russell, okay, with his cute self, okay? And shout out to Mrs. Westbrook, okay? She got her a damn good man, honey, okay? This is Russell Westbrook, you guys, okay? Now, Black men's masculinity crumbles again upon NBA superstar Russell Westbrook's debut photos of himself walking through the city in a long skirt and high-top Black boots. This comes at an onslaught of Black men challenging sexuality and masculinity, whether it be Lil Nas X kissing men and coming out as queer, or whether it be actor Malik Yoba coming out as trans attracted. These events have caused much controversy and dialogue regarding Black men's sexuality and masculinity, and are oftentimes crucified by the hotep and Black church sector of society. So we're going to get into a little bit of some things, okay? Gay agenda is Black men and femininity. Black is homosexuality, a part of the Black experience, etc. Okay. Now, for those of you who are like me, I'm not a big sports head. I don't know a lot about athletes. I have a star athlete in my family, and I'm still not into sports. But Russell Westwood, okay, who is born November the 12th. Oh, he's born actually 3 days before me. He's a Scorpio. No wonder he don't give a damn. Born November the 12th, 1988, is an American professional basketball player for the Los Angeles Lakers of the National Basketball Association. He is a 9-time NBA All-Star and earned the NBA Most Valuable Player Award for the 2016-2017 season. He is also a 9-time All-NBA team member, led the league in scoring in 2014 and 15 and 2016 and 17, and won back-to-back NBA All-Star Game Most Valuable Player Awards in 2015 and 16. In 2017, the year he won the league MVP award, Westbrook became one of the 2 players in NBA history to average a triple-double for a season, along with Oscar Robertson in 1962. He also set a record for the most triple-doubles in a season with 42. He went on to average a triple-double the following 2 seasons, as well as led the league in assist and become the first player to lead the league in points and assists in multiple seasons. In 2020 and 2021, he averaged a triple-double for the 4th time in 5 seasons. On May 10th, 2021, he passed Robertson for the most career triple-doubles in NBA history. Westbrook has the worst career 3-point percentage in NBA history of the players who have attempted more than 250,000 plus 3-point shots. Okay, so he's not that well at 3-point shooters, but everywhere else, this man is freaking Superman on the goddamn courts, okay, if I understand that properly, okay? So what we're really seeing here, you guys, is a NBA superstar. Well, this NBA superstar came under fire because of these images that I'm going to display to you right here. Hey, dear Yvette, what's going on, love? Right here, right now, my God. Yes, y'all. This here. Hold on. Oh, I didn't even share it. Damn it. StreamYard had me under a false illusion. Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, StreamYard is acting janky. What in the living hell? Hold on, y'all. StreamYard is not letting me share anything. Why can't I share? I don't understand. Oh my goodness. I'm about to be so freaking irritated. Hold on, you guys. So let me see if I can hold on real quick. Let me exit out and come back in. Hold Hi, you guys. So I'm gonna have to restart my laptop because StreamYard won't even let me back in to my shit. Okay, so you guys bear with me. I am not going to start this stream over because it ain't that deep. So let me just get some of these things out the way because I gotta restart my computer. I just logged into StreamYard from my phone. My goodness. Okay, this ain't nothing but the devil working. The devil always working, child. I'm telling you, when it ain't about no drama, honey, okay? Everything is perfect. Everything is damn perfect, baby. Let it be something, you know, something of substance, okay? The enemy be on top of that ish, baby, okay? Don't want you to do the Lord's work. None of the damn Lord's work. Don't want you to do, okay? So I'm restarting my computer, okay? So what I'm about to show you guys, soon as my and I'm gonna have to upload all of my images all over again, etc. But it's perfectly fine. Is Russell pushes through, okay? He pushes through in a skirt and some hot top boots, baby, okay? And y'all already know that black men done lost the entirety of their shit, honey, okay? Black men done lost their everlasting damn minds, okay? Done fell apart Lil Boosie style, baby, okay? They're in need of a Prozac, a therapist, okay? You guys know every time that black men operate outside of traditional Western masculinity, that it creates a goddamn congressional hearing, okay? Amongst most black men and definitely some black women, okay? And it's nuts, okay? It's always nuts. Here it is. My computer is back online. Let me pull up my stream again so I can go back into StreamYard and show you guys what I'm talking about. I wish I knew how to like do a lot of stuff from my phone and StreamYard, but I don't know. You know, I can't work from these little ass devices. I have to have my laptop functioning when it comes to all of this type of carrying on and Let me see here. Give me 1 second. If you guys are in the building, please give me a thumbs up. It don't cost you nothing. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see here. You like the outfit, Miss J? I like it too. I don't know how I feel about, like the fabric matching could have been better. I like the idea because it's something else I'm gonna show you guys too that I think is hilarious. Okay, hold on. Let me remove my. Okay, now I'm back on the laptop. Okay, so let me pull up everything, child. Okay. I don't even know why I put all my images. I'm so mad I gotta load all the stuff up again. Again and again and again and again and again. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't even know why I put everything at. This is even worse. This is even damn worse. Hold on. Whoa. Okay, let me. And thank you guys for bearing with me, child. Going live. This is why I used to love doing pre-recorded videos because everything is already premeditated and pre-organized, and you ain't got to be worrying about connections and StreamYard acting up and whether it's gonna be a good day or a bad day live. Going live is very goddamn high maintenance, extremely high maintenance, and I just can't do it sometimes, girl. Now I don't even see where the hell I put all my stuff at, y'all. I don't even know where all my stuff is, child. Like, literally. I don't see anything. Let me see. Now this right here about to piss me off. This is what's gonna make me restart this whole shit. I can't find any of the things that I created for my show. I only see one thing here. I don't even see the outfit. Oh my god, this is so freaking annoying. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, I got all that. I don't need that. Okay, that's another one. I found another one, y'all. Let me see. What is this? Okay, yeah. All right. I think I'm locating my shit. My god. Hold on, y'all. Cause it's about 7 more damn images that I created. You know what? I don't know why I didn't do this. Let me go to my documents and put last date added. To catch you sleeping. Ooh, now stay woke. Arranged by date added. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. I don't know why I didn't do this before. I'm being slower than slow. Black women, black men. What is this? What is this? Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. Okay, here's Russell. And I need the other one too, which I don't see. Oh. Okay, I think I got everything. Thank you guys for your patience, child. I was not about to do all that. Okay, so here it is, child. Here is the image that got black men toe up out of the flow up. Okay, toe up from the damn flow up. Boom. What y'all think about it? Let me remove this big ass banner real quick, because y'all already know we loud, live, and we in color already. Okay. What y'all think? What y'all think about this? What is given? How y'all feel about it? Let me tell you, I like the idea, but it's, it's the cream color sweater and then the, Karen whiteness of the skirt that I'm not really feeling. But I know where he's going. Okay, what I don't have a problem with is the skirt in and of itself, the dress in and of itself, the skirt in and of itself. Okay, because that's what everybody else is focused upon in terms of the controversy. The controversy is around the actual skirt itself. As a fashionista myself, okay, it's not the skirt itself, it's the styling, the way that it's styled. I don't know if I would have paired these things together, but I like the fact that, first of all, it's the confidence for me. It's this to me is what black masculinity actually is. Not necessarily wearing a skirt, but not necessarily not wearing a skirt either. It's just the literal ability to transcend a fuck about people's opinions who don't pay your bills, people's opinions who don't bust your nut, people's opinions who have no personal relationship or contribution to your life. That's masculinity to me. That's the divine masculinity in its totality, is transcendence against the linear, or transcendence from the linear identities and focuses of this earth plane. When women are confident and standing in their shit and know who they are, what they are displaying is divine masculinity. Okay, divine masculinity is that assertion over everyone else's opinion, that assertion over some external sense of domination. And I love that this black man had the nerve to allow his body to give himself the right to his altar. Okay, this here is his altar. Your body is your altar. Okay, this is the first altar that we all have. Okay, this is the space, the first space we're given. Okay, to transmute, to transform, to create upon. It's our very first canvas, which is our bodies. Okay, him dyeing his hair is him telling the outward world and communicating the outward world to the outward world that he's a free man and that you can't have my hair. You can't have a say-so over my hair. You can't have control over my hair. That this is mine, and I know that it's mine. And me being able to own it and be in public with this ownership is a testament of how much I am aware that I own my hair and you do not, society. The wearing of the skirt, the tenacity and boldness and audacity to wear the skirt, okay, in the broader daylight, is another ultimate act and rebellion, okay, against white supremacy and its insidious, unnatural, oppressive power, okay, over the creativity and the personal autonomy that should be afforded to all black men and black women. That this is a reclaiming of my autonomy. This is a reclaiming of my body. This is a reclaiming and an embracing of my divine feminine. And I am no short and no less of a man for wearing this skirt and wearing this skirt happily, because I will still kick your motherfucking ass in it. I'm still the NBA's most valuable player in this goddamn skirt, okay? And not to mention, there's somebody else who I think is just as significant and powerful, and who this speaks so many wonderful things about. And it would also be Russell's wife. That there is a black woman who has also transcended and broken free from the social constructs, okay, that limit black men and black women, that allow her to stand happily married to this man as he expressed himself in whatever way he sees fit. That's powerful. This is what love is. Freeing, affirming. Yeah, I'm not caring for the outfit, but Latrina, I don't like the outfit myself, but I'm not here, as a fashion critic, because what society is screaming about is the skirt wearing. They don't even give a damn, that is not as styled maybe as it could be. Okay, they just are over their head about the actual skirt wearing. Now, this image is off of Russell's Instagram page, and this is what it says, because I want to read this. Happy anniversary to my beautiful wife. I wouldn't want to share this journey with anybody else. I'm grateful that we can continue to create memories and have fun and continue to grow old together. Keep being you, sugar. Love you more. So here it is. This man is acknowledging that he loves his wife for who she is. And it's clear that she loves him for who he is. Now, this is the best part of love, y'all, is when you find somebody who supports the things that make you who you are. Okay, now there's a difference between being an enabler. But we're talking about, you know, when you allow somebody to be who they are, as long as they ain't hurting nobody, that you don't try to stop somebody from being who they are when the who they are ain't hurting themselves or hurting nobody else. It's just who they is. Okay, that's a lot different from you know, supporting somebody being on drugs and shit. No, you don't need to be that type of unconditional loving, okay? Because love is righteous and love is corrective, you know, but those type of things, you know, bring harm to a person and can even bring harm to those around that person. But who we are, how we show up, how we dress, our career field, our sense of humor, the areas of interest that we have, our hobbies, etc. That, you know, true love is about loving somebody for that. And I would much rather, and I'm sure you guys probably agree, be with somebody who's willing to love the parts of you that right now you only feel comfortable being in the confinements of your own home. But you would never be that person in church. You would never be that person allowed. You will never be that person in front of others. But imagine having a partner who not only could love the parts of you that you keep to yourself, but could also encourage you to express that part of yourself to the rest of the world too, because they find it just that beautiful. This is love. And I didn't want to commend him without commending her, because I think that this speaks volumes about what Black women could achieve if they undo white ideology and undo pale supremacy, and they undo all the ignorances that have come by way of respectability politics and all of the mutated things that have come by way of the Black community due to white supremacy. You know, there are plenty of Lil Boosies in the world, but there are plenty of female versions of Lil Boosie in the world who really believe that a man in a skirt is a problem, who also believe that it means something about a man's orientation because he wants to wear his hair long or paint his nails or whatever the expression of what people would call femininity is. There are just as many women who participate in toxic masculinity and hyper masculinity as there are Black men who do. Dennis Rodman, he came to mind as well, a Black Girls Code, who also opened the door for professional athletes to be able to express themselves, and just Black men in general, especially in such a hyper masculine setting like being an athlete, you know, for Dennis Rodman to, you know, he was the Madonna of basketball. You know, he pioneered this lane of individuality and androgyny and creativity in this very masculine left brain space, and picked up his cross and carried it proudly. Because no matter how much work they tried to give to Dennis Rodman knew who the hell he was. They said everything under the sun about Dennis. He never lost a pep in his step. He took total ownership of his body, of his inner space, of who he understood himself to be, and he allowed the world to do what the hell they wanted to do with it, whether that be hate him or love him for it. That is what healthy masculinity is. It's the ability to fully affirm yourself and to allow your opinion and your view and your understanding of who you are to trump the superficial perceptions of others. Now, I want to go into some other areas because while, and I want to pull this picture up again as I pull some other images that I have up here, as he's out here slaying the game, okay? And this is very fascinating to me because, you know, I wear my fair share of skirts, okay? And I feel even more manly, as odd as that may sound. I feel more manly in these outfits and these apparels, or feel just as manly, I should say, not more manly, but I feel as manly, honey. I feel I think these images are going to be so tiny. Oh, they are. Oh my goodness. Hold on, you guys. I'm probably gonna have to share my damn Instagram. Ooh, test somebody. You gonna test somebody. I didn't want to show you guys a pixelated image, but I think I'm going to just go ahead and just share it anyway because I just don't feel like having to do the damn most. Okay. Because I put on my fair share of skirts as well. Here's one of those examples. Can you guys see this? Now this is pixelated. I'll probably post the original picture in my community wall. But if you guys can see that, and it's ironic because I took this picture in like 2018, 2017, 2018, honey. Okay, and here it is. I'm in my skirt and I'm in my hot top boots as well. My polo boots, to be exact, honey. Okay, getting my entire life and not giving a single lick of a damn. Okay, not giving a damn. Okay. These things appeal to my femininity. And because I'm a man who doesn't have a problem and I don't discriminate against my femininity, I don't mind doing feminine things. I don't mind saying feminine things. I don't mind operating in feminine ways because I don't have any issue with my femininity. My femininity comes as natural to me as my masculinity do. My masculinity comes as natural to me as my queer as my sexuality does. My sexuality comes as natural to me as my blackness does. These are things that I didn't have to ask to be. These are things that I didn't have to manufacture. These are things that are not the result of a social construct. They are the result of a soul construct. Can I say that again to the people in the back? These things are the result not of social constructs, but of soul constructs. Okay. Once again, shout out to the Hebrew Bible that I, your Lord God, have made both male and female in my own image. Okay. Soul constructs. Okay. Shout out to the Hebrew Bible. Okay. Whose mythology also involved woman not necessarily being created from the ground up like Adam, but being extrapolated from Adam. That God took a aspect of Adam and externalized it to him. That became Eve. He put Adam into, and this is all mythological language, okay? But these are metaphysical concepts, okay? Here it is. We see the binary, that God creates the binary, okay? He creates the male and female binary. So the real big question becomes, what was mankind when it existed as when it existed in its original form? Because once God separated Eve, separated femininity from masculinity, once he separated the air from the waters, the binary system was created. And guess what? Guess what else I find interesting about Christian mythology, is that this system of this binary system wasn't even created because it was a part of God's original plan. The binary system only came by way of Adam's desire. Okay. The Bible says that Adam grew lonely, whatever the hell that means. You know, I don't know what that would mean for the first human, so to speak, the first man, so to speak, the first Adam, so to speak. But out of Adam needing some company in the garden because everything else was paired up, okay? Everything else came in twos. Adam came complete, batteries included. So it's interesting to me that God did not necessarily create the binary system because it was a part of creation's original design, but that the binary system only came by way of Adam's desire. That God had created things as God so sees fit. God's original plan was what it was. Adam, creation. Adam brought forth the binary system. God honored it. I think that there's a lot that the church should, there's a lot more that the church should do with the creation myth than the corny, goofy shit that they've done with it, because there are so many things that the scriptures imply. There are so many things that the scriptures indicate and suggest, and the church is afraid to be creative, and they're afraid to be critical, and they're probably afraid to be critical and probably afraid to be creative because they're so committed to maintaining narratives that harbor biases rather than to really seek the truth, which is something that requires boldness. It requires courage. The courage to let go of what you think things should be like and how you think the things should be for what things actually are. To release your worldview, to release prior knowledge, to be renewed again. That's what repentance is all about. The Greek and Hebrew for repentance is metanoia, and it means to rethink your thinking, to think about what you're thinking about, to not only be conscious of the thoughts that come into your psyche, but to also be capable of observing those thoughts, to not always act as a participant and not to always associate yourself with what you think, but to also go a little bit higher and push a little bit further and think about the things you think about, to question yourself, to be introspective, to analyze your psychology, to analyze your intellect. That's how you strengthen your intellect. That's how you strengthen self-awareness. By analyzing and mulling over your feelings, mulling over your thoughts, mulling over information again and again and again and again. That's how you find new aspects of knowledge. By reanalyzing, reopening yourself to something. Now, yes, Jace, that statement regarding Adam became lonely says to me that the divine feminine was in existence. Let us create them in our image, okay? The divine feminine was already present, masc and fem principles that make up God's character, that make up God's essence, that those principles created creation. That they were there from the start. But what would Adam have became if it had never, because I don't even like calling Adam a he, but if Adam had not bear witness to pairing, I wonder what Adam's attitude would have been toward what it already was before Eve, or femininity was externalized. I want to probe that and meditate over that. Now, here's the thing here. Here is the thing. Okay, let me see. I want to pull up an article and read some things regarding Russell's situation. Okay. We're going to read this article together. This is from clutchpoints.com. And remember that Russell is a damn Scorpio, so he don't give a damn anyway. Okay? Not anyway. Does he give a damn? Okay? Scorpios have that natural kind of rock star attitude. Okay? So this is from Clutch Points, and it reads, this commentary, I threw this whole commentary off because of all these technicalities that I had to endure. My goodness. So it's titled, Russell Westbrook wears. Russell Westbrook wearing skirt draws polarizing takes from Lakers Twitter. Okay. Now, you guys know that these damn websites be paying the bills by having all these damn ads up, spamware, spyware, warware, every skirtware, every damn type of goddamn wear be everywhere. This don't make no sense, okay? Can't even scroll through without jamming traffic, okay? Russell Westbrook doesn't give a damn what you think. The newest Los Angeles Lakers superstar has always been unapologetically himself, both on and off the court. We can get to the next paragraph. That would be nice. The Brody showed exactly what his recent outfit, which understandably drew some varied takes from Lakers fans on Twitter. Check out the look for yourself with a Kendrick Lamar caption to go with it. Okay, quote, don't address me unless it's 4 letters at Kendrick Lamar. Okay. Man's confidence definitely shining through while rocking a full-length skirt. A few Laker fans, however, trash the look. Okay? Laker Nation said we can't defend this one. Okay? Okay? Black man's fragility, child, is collapsing, honey, as they bear witness to the download. Okay? I don't know what this website just did, but somebody else says, please delete this now. Okay? This website is really doing the most. Bear with the website, child, okay? But a few others came to the defense of the Lakers guard, even calling out Russell Westbrook's distractors in the process, okay? Skirt is fire, but the kids in the replies will say it's wrong. Good to know that there are some decent, healthy-ass people in the world, okay, who are not going to have their intellect collapsed by a man in a damn piece of fabric, okay? All your pharaohs, all your church fathers and priests, okay, were in skirts, robes, dresses, the whole damn nine. You know why? Because a skirt is a human invention, which means it is a social construct. It could take form based upon whatever the person wearing it wants it to mean, okay? Somebody else says, lot of insecure men in the comments. You love to see it, okay? Somebody else said, no way y'all are freaking out over a grown man wearing what he wants. Dead. Okay? O'Shea Jackson probably has the best reasoning for not hating on Russell Westbrook's fit. The Lakers star would demolish anyone who actually dared to call out his look. Don't let the meta-watt smile fool you folks. Okay? Saying that this nigga would beat your ass. Okay? Russell Brook has never conformed to the standards that others have set for him throughout his entire career. He just marches to the beat of his own drum, whether you like it or not. Laker fans are about to venture into Russell Westbrook's experience. The season is going to have its ups and downs, but one thing's for certain, it's going to be interesting as hell. So as you guys see, of course, there were mixed reviews. Thank God there were mixed reviews, okay? I find that to be rather interesting, okay? Now, when we talk about Black men's masculinity, the West is a very interesting place for Black men to have existed within, because Black men in the West is literally equivalent to putting a lion in a artificial environment. Like putting an animal in the wild into the zoo, okay? And just like a lot of animals, mankind is self-aware, just like animals are self-aware. They know the difference between an authentic, organic environment, okay, and a inorganic environment and space, okay? Between slavery, between Reconstruction, between Jim Crowism, between the prison industrial complex, between the police task force invention, Black people in general have endured have undergone a lot of unnatural processes due to a group putting them through unnatural things, okay? Financial, social, economic oppression, all these things will turn any community into a shell of itself. So you have a lot of Black men who are caught up, okay, in certain brands of masculinity. And when I really think about Black masculinity, particularly toxic masculinity, which is a brand of masculinity that a lot of hip-hop artists, a lot of rap artists, a lot of urban Black men take on. I think about why that would be attractive. Why would toxic masculinity be attractive? And it's for one good reason and one good reason only. Toxic masculinity is really Black men's attempt to survive in a white patriarchal capitalistic system in a very explicit and extreme way. Toxic masculinity is a survival tactic. It's a war tactic for Black men who are feeling snuffed out, feeling like there's no space, and have taken on lifestyles and taken on ways of thinking that protect them. When you think about why toxic masculine men are so cold and emotionally sterile, it's out of survival. Because when you're surviving, you can't feel. Feelings will get you fucked up. That's the psychology of toxic masculinity. It's protective. It's preserving. Because men are left brain thinking individuals, because the divine masculine is more calculated, it's more right and left, 1 + 1 = 2. It doesn't do gray space. It's more scientific and logical in its existence. Black men are out here preferring not to be in their feelings, but trying to obtain a per capital, trying to obtain resources, trying to obtain power, even as a way to liberate themselves from an oppressive system. from an oppressive class. And so toxic masculinity can be exhausting and extremely sabotaging for those who participate in it, because toxic masculinity is assumed by those who are going to survive by any means necessary. And what's dangerous about that is that any means necessary means that if it means being violent toward women, so be it. If it means being violent towards the LGBT community, so be it. If it means hurting and damaging and destroying the very community in which I come from, in exchange for money and resources myself, then so be it. This is why drug dealers, gang members can pile drugs and bring violence into the very communities that their children are raised in, that their mothers and sisters are in, that their friends and families are in, that their peers are in, and also have no conviction in soul or conscience about what happens to anyone else. Because the only thing that matters is liberation at all costs. And it's a very individualized liberation, which is why it can cost everyone else. So when toxic, masculine, personifying individuals, whether they be men or women, see images like this one, it's discombobulating. It's discombobulating. Oh, Rob, we're not talking about a fashion. This conversation is way beyond fashion, boo. We're talking about why there's controversy around a black man and a skirt. The controversy isn't because he should have gave a nice black or plaid Christian Dior kilt in all black and green like the Irish with the new Prada boots, okay? That's not the assessment. That's not why there's men online talking about the gay agenda and using this as a receipt that black men are being attacked and that the children are being attacked and that there's some incentive to effeminize the black man. It's completely unrelated to how this outfit is styled. The fact that this is a black man in blue hair with a skirt on. It's being interpreted and translated as an attack on the black community, particularly the black male community. Toxic masculinity is very anti-femininity. When toxic black men see this image here, they see a black man representing himself this way, what they see is a black man taking on qualities that will not allow him to survive. Because toxic black masculinity holds the attitude that this is war. And what do you look like being a woman on the battlefield? What do you look like being feminine on the battlefield? Because possessing any feminine trait, my nigga, is going to get you killed out here. Because toxic masculinity is birthed out of black men being frustrated with pale supremacy. and all of the ways in which pale supremacy prohibits peace and coexistence with Black men. So toxic masculinity can't make sense of this shit. It can't make sense of this shit. It can't make sense of this shit. I hate this squeaky ass chair. It can't make sense of it. I want to know, and I even want to know, I want to say, first to Black masculinity, that not only is this healthy, to all the men suffering from toxic masculinity, not only is this healthy, guess what else is healthy? Toxic masculine men. Guess what else is healthy to all those who find this problematic? Guess who else is? All of this. All of this here is healthy. It's okay if you're one of the three, or if you are all of these. If you swing in between any of these expressions, it's fine. All of this is fine. Black men should have the right to show up in any variation of masculinity and femininity. Whether Black masculinity alone, whether the divine feminine alone, without divine feminine as a contributor, wants to show up conservatively, whether it wants to show up urbanly, okay? From baggy clothes to well-fitted suits to a corporate appearance, these things are all masculinity. The issue becomes when we make no space for masculinity to have access to this as well. When we don't allow Black men to do this as well, because this Black man here, Russell, he does this as well. He does this as well. And there's no controversy over him presenting this way or presenting this way, conservatively, corporately, professionally, or urbanly. But only when he's bodying both his male and female. This is why masculinity is toxic. And this is why we call Black men a lot of times, especially those who participate in toxic masculinity, the white men of the Black community. Because what toxic masculine men want is to have power over men. And as a man, you do not stand for the liberation of Black men when you keep queer men out of the space, when you keep androgynous men out of the space, because what you are in fact doing is replicating the oppressive power of the white men who you are attempting to break free from. So you can't replicate that power while having a problem with power. You can only counter the insidious execution of power with harmony and equality. Inclusiveness disempowers power. Liberation and freedom counters oppression. If toxic masculinity did not exist, Black men would have access to all of this variation. And this is only this ain't even all the variation. Okay, this is just a condensed for the practical display of. But Black men should have access to all of this. If the same Black man want to look like this tomorrow, if he feels like this tomorrow, or feels like that by Saturday, and then swings back around to this by Monday, that Black men should be able to move in and out of themselves, in and out of their consciousness, in and out of their duality of masc and female, of masc and femme, the same way that guess who else does? The same way that Black fucking women do in this society. Because guess who has access to all variations of themselves? That's right. Black women. From the masculine Black woman in her do-rag, her headband, and her jersey, to the hyper fembot, weave, cosmetics, nails and jewelry, to the conservative, modest Black woman. That Black woman is all of these things. That all of these things are expressions and aspects of the divine feminine. Whether the divine feminine wants to be androgynous, like Miss Debrat here, who has always maintained her masculine feminine energies, and did so for the most part without any controversy. But because this is a patriarchy, oftentimes lesbians, trans men, and androgynous women get to be rewarded for personifying masculinity, because patriarchy looks at that personification as assimilation. And because patriarchy don't have an issue and thinks that masculinity is God's gift to mankind, of course, patriarchy has no problem if women are assimilating to masculinity, or in their eyes trying to be a man. Because if you let patriarchy tell it, everybody should, if not want to need a man, should want to be like a man. Because patriarchy rules. That's the attitude of patriarchy. So, of course, we've allowed these things without controversy. Remember Eve? This is the rapper Eve on the end here. You know, when Eve was a Rough Rider. Y'all remember her? Tomboy, riding the dirt bikes and the scooters and the motorcycles. Rough riding. The brat. Y'all remember these women? They was able to be top charting artists without any controversy about their androgyny or their masculinity. But we get one Lil Nas X on the charts, who is being a queer male, who expresses and personifies his androgyny, and we got to have a congressional hearing. He can't be male and queer. Because being male and queer, being male and feminine is a disrespect to patriarchy. So, of course, he got to be crucified. Because why would what's already masculine want to be that which is feminine when femininity and all things feminine are looked at as weak in a patriarchy? So why the hell would a man who's already male want to be anything less than masculine? Because patriarchy disrespects and dishonors the divine feminine and considers it to be a weak attribute, a weak characteristic. This is why all of your fables, all of your childhood stories involve a man coming to the rescue of a woman. The classic damsel in distress narratives, the knight in shining armor. Why have those mythologies in the West not been, why hasn't the knight been woman and the man been in distress? Oh, because patriarchy had the power to create the narrative. Why did women always have to be broken? Why did femininity always have to be broken and fragile? Even if there's a place for that in the divine feminine phenomenon, the issue would be that that's all that kept being presented, is that to be woman and or to possess feminine traits even as a man was to be seen as a weaker vessel, which means that you were less valuable, which means that you could be disposed of. Because in a patriarchy, woman and all things that personify femininity are looked at as a burden to patriarchy and to toxic masculinity. So a patriarchy has no problem with the Eve and a Debrat as musical artists. We had no conversations around the gay agenda when women were lesbian in hip hop, when women were masculine in hip hop. The Queen Latifahs. There's no conversation because that's okay. That wasn't a threat. That wasn't disrespectful to patriarchy. But we get one Lil Nas X, a male personifying androgyny and feminine energies. The house got to come down. So why was Eve and Debrat able to exist? Why was Queen Latifah and MC Lyte able to exist without a single conversation about the gay agenda, without any backlash from the Black community, without any protest from the dominant society? But we put one Lil Nas X up and all hell breaks loose. So what we know and can see and can extrapolate from that is that when women personify masculinity in a patriarchal setting, that's okay. That assimilation is okay. Just like when Black people are assimilating to whiteness, that's okay. Don't be a nigger in a white space. Be white in a white space as a non-white person. That's how you soothe over the dominant class. Dominant class not gonna have a problem when you are assimilating to the traits that they hold up as powerful and strong, like masculinity. But because in this patriarchy, women have been brainwashed to interpret their posture in this society the way that patriarchy would have them interpret it, which is lesser, weaker, in need of validation from a man, and in need of validation from pregnancy and childbearing capacity, all things that patriarchy will have you define yourself as, because childbearingness includes what? The man. You can't do it without him. So the man, the patriarchal system has convinced women that they are incomplete in the external sense. And so even women get tight and wound up by men being with men, and men assimilating or expressing femininity, because they're under the understanding that those traits are weak. And so to see those traits on a man means that in some way he's weak. If he's gay, he's weak. If he's soft-spoken, he's weak. If he's pretty, he's weak. Hell, if he likes to play in makeup and wear heels like me, he's weak because I'm weak. Women don't even realize what they're communicating when they're being transphobic and homophobic. You're admitting that you see yourself as weak. And it's one thing for you to be weak, but why the hell would a man want to be weak or present weak when he don't have to, because he's already male and already has the privilege to be respected in this society because of his maleness? That's why I oftentimes tell Black women that every time you are homophobic and transphobic, as much as you think that you're giving it to the girls and you're giving it to queer people and you're giving it to trans persons, what you're really doing is really affirming to toxic masculinity and patriarchy that it's okay for them to see you the same way. Because what patriarchy and toxic masculinity hates in a gay man, what toxic masculinity and patriarchy hates in an androgynous man, is the same thing they hate in you as a biological woman, which is your divine femininity. That's the commonality between queer men, androgynous queer and or straight men, and biological women, is that all three groups have the divine feminine in common. And toxic masculinity, toxic patriarchy despises and seeks power over the feminine consciousness that expresses itself through the biological manifestation of females in terms of sex, same gender attraction, and androgyny, which can be personified by both homo and hetero men, because masculine and feminine are separate from orientation, just like gender is separate from orientation. So I think that true equality should be giving Black men the same wiggle room to self-actualize, just like Eve was able to in her tomboy days, just like the brat was able to in her androgyny, just like little Kim is able to in her hyper femininity, and just like these conservative women over here who want to be modestly dressed without makeup, weave, and lashes. That just like we give women all of these spaces to be, we give them all of these selves to be, all of these variations to be, that women have a plethora of options in terms of how they can show up, that we should do the very, very, very same thing for Black men. Because if we don't find anything wrong with the brat or Eve or Latifah or MC Light or any other woman who expresses the divine masculine in whatever way she does, we should not have an issue with the Lil Nas X's, the Malik Yobas, the ASAP Rockies, and nor the Russell Westbrooks of the world. This is why you can't get me to take the gay agenda shit seriously. Because once again, the same community that creates the gay agenda, that conceptualizes it, is the same community that had no issue when women personify queerness, when women personify masculinity, as we just went over with Debrat and Eve, Missy Elliott even. But we do not afford black men the same. And just like it when or if Debrat or Eve or Latifah or any of these women, we wouldn't think anything less of them if they were to become mothers, business owners. Once again, black women can be all of those things and then some without the burden of being thought as less than. But we would look at a Russell and question his sexuality. Women would not be secure enough and confident enough. In general, he has a wife, so there are black women who are, but generally speaking, black women would be insecure dating a man like this. They wouldn't know how to take him. They wouldn't know how to take a man who was in touch to this degree with his femininity. They wouldn't be able to be comfortable. Black men would feel offended, personalize that offense so much that they would say and call this man everything under the sun but a child of God. All because he had the balls and the courage to align himself with his femininity. Do you know that a man who's in touch with his femininity is more inclined to respect women rather than to disrespect them? Do you know that a man in touch with his femininity is more inclined to have the capacity to understand the emotional labor that women pour over relationships to men? And you know why he would have the capacity, why a man in touch with his femininity will have the capacity to appreciate that emotional labor that women bring to parenting, that women bring to romantic relationships and love? Because he utilizes his own heart. The femininity in him opens his own heart. He not only understands that bringing home the bacon to mama and giving her good dick is his responsibility, but he understands that reciprocating that emotional labor, that participating in the nuance of observing your partner and studying your partner so that you're able to take care of them in ways that are nuanced and almost unrecognizable to the woman or to the other individual. Because your love is so in touch that it offers very little contrast in the relationship. Women, generally speaking, right now are fighting with men over not getting enough attention from a man. Not getting are upset at men for not being able to understand where they're coming from about whatever issue they have with this or whatever issue they have. And the men who are giving y'all a tough time are these emotionally sterile, brick hard, masculine ass men who feel that it's his job to be emotionally suspended, who believe and have this idea that masculinity is the experience of not having emotions and not feeling. And then you wonder why Black men can get out here and terrorize their communities without so much as a sorry. Where would a sorry come from? This man has emasculated himself from his emotional body. He's emancipated himself and divorced the femininity, his divine feminine. So where would an apology come from? Where would keen observation skills come from? Where would sentimentalness come from? It's not going to come out of masculinity. That's why men have to be in touch with their femininity, so they can feel the world they participate in. So that they can feel the love and the romance that they're participating in. This is why women have to be in touch with their masculinity, so that they can get out of their feelings when they need to, so that they can bring some intelligence to their emotionalism. Because emotions without logic and emotions without reason, emotions without the help of the mental body is what creates emotional distortions that manifest as depression, moodiness, anxiety, anxiousness, insecurity, because you have too much of a thing. When the pendulum doesn't swing from the left to the right, it's stuck to the right for women and stuck to the left for men. That's why the classic concept of men are from Mars and women are from Venus came from. But this difference and this line of demarcation only exists because we assign two universal polarities to a sex or two sexes, rather than apply these universal polarities, masculine and feminine, to each individual, irregardless of sex. That's what makes the tension so deep for men and women in the West, and now even men and women in the Middle East. Because we're under the false pretense that the polarity, masculine and feminine, are to be assigned to sex, male and or female. Is this child or this individual male or female? That falls so short of the purpose of masc and feminine in a soul. That falls so short of an interpretation and translation of masc and femme, that it's about roles and titles and aesthetics, instead of actually about the dynamics of the way that God actually created the soul in and of itself, which possesses masculine and feminine. Now, once again, when we talk about masculine and feminine, in a spiritual sense, we're not talking about a social construct. That's what we got now in the West. We have a social construct around masculine and feminine principles. But when we talk about it spiritually, we talk about a soul construct. And this thing is not going to get any better as long as the inhabitants of this planet assign those universal polarities to a sex rather than to each soul. That we should be raising both male and females to be in touch with their masculinity and their femininity, and not even think that sexuality is synonymous to masculine femme, because it is not. This is why you can have masculine heterosexual women and you can have feminine heterosexual men. We should be teaching men equally that they are responsible as well for the emotional labor necessary for parenting, the emotional labor necessary for romantic relationships. That is necessary. That emotional labor is necessary for the relationship needed to yourself. Because the reason why men are committing suicide at 3 times the rate is because men don't know what the fuck to do with the way they feel, other than to hate the fact that they are feeling, and then therefore off themselves. Men have nowhere to go and don't know what to do with themselves when they begin to feel, especially feelings that are dense, especially feelings around guilt, around shame, around loneliness. Men would rather destroy the objects that they believe are attributed to their shame and guilt, rather than to analyze and to wrestle with and to communicate to those emotions. See, women know how to do this, which is why women are less violent than men are. Women will go into their feelings. But the problem with toxic femininity as well, which is why women also need the divine masculinity, is that sometimes women can go into their feelings and then remain there. They don't know how to get out. That's why they need to be in touch with their masculinity. Masculinity is your rescue chopper. Masculinity is your 911. These are your first responders to the pain, is your masculinity. They come in to rescue you, to give you relief from the catastrophe that you're experiencing, from the disaster that you are a part of. So women also need access to masculinity. Now, women get this by being in relationship, whether platonically or romantically, with men. That's the balance between the sexes. Men come in to say, hey, it's not that deep. You need to chill out. And women offer to men, hey, you simplifying the matter. It's some deep shit going on. You need to pay closer attention. Okay? They come to bring each other to balance, because men can get stuck in relief, and get so addicted to relief that they don't realize that they pacify the issue. They simplify the issue. because the issue indeed is more complex than the issue is indeed deeper than what meets the eye. And I need you to go in, to come in instead of trying to get out. So both sexes, when they're healthy, even if men and women choose not to be in touch with their femme or masculinity as individuals, by them engaging in each other, by men and women engaging one another, they can still get that balance. But we also need that balance ourselves, because we can't always rely upon interactions with the opposite sex that personify those universal polarities. Meaning that the divine feminine is easily personifying itself through the sex of woman, the gender of woman. And the divine masculinity is easily personifying itself naturally through the sex and gender of man. But we need to also be able to be in touch fully with our divinity, which encompasses both male and female principle, so that we can be complete individuals, so that you can talk yourself out of a bad day, and so that you can talk yourself into your emotions, so that you can actually grieve properly. Because see, men don't grieve the way that they should. This is why men would rather drink, men would rather smoke, men would rather pop every pill, men would rather fuck until they feel relief. They will take every other external route because they're out of touch internally. You wouldn't need to find all of these band-aids if you would go reach the root of the issue, which is your emotions around the trauma, or around the breakup, or around the separation, or around the addiction. But because men aren't trained to do that, men think of themselves as sissy or gay or weak by feeling. It's about avoiding feelings at all costs, and that becomes toxic masculinity. When women are only engaged in their feelings and do not know how to intellectualize it, they don't know how to create order out of what their emotions are communicating to them. When they don't develop emotional intelligence, when either sex doesn't do that, then for women it becomes toxic femininity, for men it becomes toxic masculinity. We have to get out of these narrow spaces and get out of this narrow thinking regarding masculine and feminine. We have to realize that we're all possess these forces, that these are universal forces at work, that these are psychic forces at work comprising our spirit and soul connection, that when we have conversations around sexuality and gender and masculine and female, that we need to understand that we're now talking about spiritual things, not biological things in and of itself, not genitalia, not these linear concepts, but that we're talking about something much more metaphysical and cosmic and universal than the orientation itself. There are forces, universal forces, that create these dynamics of sexuality, that create these dynamics of gender and gender identity and masculine, feminine personification through mannerisms, through style, through etc. We should not be looking at Russell Westbrook as a receipt of the gay agenda, but we should be celebrating this man for the strength to, first of all, to know who he is and to have the balls to be who he is, for better or for worse, because who he's being in a skirt ain't hurting or harming nobody. Ain't nobody dropping dead. Ain't nobody getting cancer. A country is not starving on the other side of the world. People are not homeless because this man is in a skirt. The kids are still in school in front of their computers and got teachers in front of them. They're still being taught math, history, science, and English while he's in a skirt. The world is still moving and operating with him in a skirt and all. Okay? Global warming has not stopped or started because a black man is in a damn skirt. We need to also realize that the skirt on a man can be representative of so much more than just the easy go-to of sexual orientation. The skirt can represent self-confidence. The skirt can be a fashion symbol on a man as an act of rebellion, as a fuck you. People still do make fashion statements, you know. The skirt could represent balance between the masculine and feminine polarity. The skirt could be cultural, as people have said in the comment section. Scottish, African culture. I mean, there's literally so many other places to go than to make it about something fucking gay. You know, and for this culture to continue to obsess over gayness, and to obsess over black men's sexuality, and to obsess over black men's masculinity. I mean, it's ridiculous at the obsession and the need to control the way that black men show up in their body, show up in their altars. Because once again, when we think of the fact that the Russell Westbrooks of the world exist, let's not fucking forget. Let's not fucking forget that the Debrats, the Eves, the Lil Kims, the Trinas, the Queen Latifahs, the MC Lights, and all the black church mothers of the United States show up too. Because the Brat and Eve's androgyny can have many more statements as well outside of sexuality. The same things that the skirt for Russell could mean, it's the same thing that the jersey and the baggy jeans and the headbands on the Brat can mean. It's the same thing that the baggy clothes and the short cut on Eve and her Rough Rider days can mean. But because in the West, we're so limited and we're so stupid, and we exist within this bubble and this vacuum called the United States, we're so not cultured, we're so not exposed to anything outside of our reality that we really think that we have a grip and we have the deed and title on all things that are. And it's ridiculous, it's arrogant, it's ignorant, and it's anti-black, because your ancestors understood that masculine and feminine were spiritual concepts. Yes, personified by humans into a culture that conceptualizes that which is spiritual, but spiritual nonetheless. African queens who were revered and referred to themselves as kings instead, who referred to their husbands and their concubines as wives rather than husbands. Yeah, not only is it black Hell, this is bigger than blackness. This stuff is universal and it's metaphysical. Now, between living in a linear and religious society where the spiritual is the minority, we have definitely done these concepts at this fucking service, and that's why I'm here and I'm happy that the age of Aquarius is rushing on in, and we're now having deeper conversation and having to expand our knowledge about things that society made very simple for no other reason other than just having the privilege to simplify concepts and phenomenons that are more intricate. That are more intricate than that. So we've already been here for 2 goddamn hours. This is supposed to be 45 minutes. I'm not even going to go into the rest of what the hell I was going to go into. I'll just save it for another goddamn day. But black men, heal, honey. All I can tell you is motherfucking heal. And cry aloud so you can get the help you need, because y'all niggas cannot go on this way. It's killing y'all to go on this way. Look at the statistics around the prison industrial complex. Look at the statistics around black men's health. Look at the statistics around black men and mental health and suicidal ideation. Trying to endorse this toxic brand of masculinity is literally killing y'all. It is killing y'all. And it's killing those around you. Because you're killing communities and killing women as a result of you killing your damn self. You're killing trans women. You're killing LGBT people because you're dying yourself. If you do not liberate yourself and free your mind, as the infamous words of En Vogue screamed out for us to do, there won't be much of a black men's community left. Y'all think that women have to do it all now. There ain't going to be nothing left but women and gay men to represent the black community if black cis hetero men do not free themselves. And we have to assist black cis hetero men at breaking free from these mental shackles, these emotional shackles, and these erroneous ideologies that are contributing to their self-sabotage. Black women, y'all have to realize that you guys have been conditioned as well to endorse toxic masculinity and to believe that that traits of the divine feminine on men make a man weak, because you have to understand what the fuck you're saying about yourself when you say it about a man who acts like you in one way or another, or who feels the way that you feel, and who has emotions whether you have emotions. If it's pussy for him, it's pussy for you. If it's sissy for him, it's sissy for your ass too. That you can't have one without the damn other. That anytime you as a woman attack femininity on a man, you are attacking your damn self and reinforcing that psychological and physical violence that women endure under this toxic ass system. That you're reinforcing your own oppression. Same thing for queer men. Queer men, we cannot always sexualize men who operate outside of the traditional standards of masculinity, because Gay men can be very quick too to want to call every goddamn man gay because he's either cool with gay people or because he's in a skirt or because he's open-minded, because he's creative, because he's not hard-bodied. We've all been conditioned to be toxic as hell and to think in toxic ass ways. So we have to repent again and again and again and again and unlearn this shit so that we can learn our freedom instead of reinforcing our slavery, our mental, spiritual, and physical slavery. This is going to be a matter of undoing all this shit. I'm tired of cis hetero black men making everything that operates outside of tradition a problem. What's a problem, you niggas? Is the tradition itself. That's the damn problem. Y'all are trying to maintain a very toxic, narrow ass, no life giving ass brand of masculinity that ain't doing black men no good. These niggas out here dying in alleyways, overdosing, and fucking drinking themselves into death through lean and shit. This who y'all got black men thinking that they have to be, and that this is what masculinity is, and that this is just what boys do. It's fucking not. I salute Russell Westbrook. I salute the black woman that has did her work and can see her man as a whole man and a valuable man and not be turned off but be turned on by this man's freedom and his liberation. And this is a very interesting couple. I would even say a model couple. This is what real self-love and love from other people, this is what that fucking looks like. Let motherfucking black men rock. Let black men be fucking free. Let black men do fucking them. If you doing them, let black men do them. Just like I always say on my platform, a woman's body is her altar. Let women have the right to do as they will with their altar, with their space, with their autonomy. Give black men the same motherfucking luxury. Their bodies are their altars. Let them alter it how they will. If that nigga want blue hair and want to be in a skirt, that's his business. He ain't got to be your romantic partner, but he also don't have to be a problem either. He ain't got to be the man that you go marry, but he ain't got to be a problem either. Now, what I'm saying is that we don't even have to live in that level of a kumbaya ass society where we got to find everything beautiful and find everything sexy and we got to prefer everything. What I'm saying is that when things are different from the way you're used to them being, that they don't necessarily have to be a problem either because they're different than the way you would have them be. We live in a society for so long that has said because it's different than me, it is a problem. Because it's different than the way that I live, it's an issue. Because it's different than the way that I would show up, it's a threat. None of those things don't have to be the case. It could be different, and you can also not have to prefer it and can still support it simply being. Just like me, shit. If you let me have it, I think everybody should have piercings and tattoos and dressing eccentric and everything else. But people have the right to be normal. People have the right to be modest. People have the right to be conservative. People have the fucking right to live like Amish folk. I don't really give a fuck. People got the right to be Satanists. People got the right to worship how they see fit. People got the right to pick and choose whatever they want to be. Just stop making it a motherfucking issue when motherfuckers want to do what makes them happy and do what's true for them. For them. Not for you, but for them. Loy Yaki. Pseudo-intellectual. Bitch, you ain't said shit intellectual since you been here. You come in making statements and you ain't made no motherfucking, you ain't made a point to prove a goddamn thing. How about use them keys that you offered by your keyboard to actually say something of substance, since you have the opportunity to do the non-poisonous thing. Don't say that I'm poisoning society when you ain't using the opportunity to unpoison society. Say what the fuck you want to say. What you got to say? What you got to say about the way that people should be? What you got to say about the way that black men should show up? What you got to say about the way that black women should show up? Instead of you using your tacky ass snot-nosed fingers to just make an asinine, insignificant ass statement about what I'm saying, bitch, you use the God-given space that you have and the privilege you have to say something of substance, because you have the opportunity to do that. You have the opportunity to insert whatever you believe is healthy and beneficial to society and culture into the stream. And you ain't said a goddamn thing yet. And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting, Loy Yatchy. Blah, 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 bitch. We're still waiting for your non-poisonous sermon on the Mount. We're waiting. It's been 60 seconds, and I'm waiting from the good gospel from you. "90 seconds and counting, and you still have yet to say a goddamn thing. You know why? Because you ain't got a goddamn thing to say and a goddamn thing to bring to the table. You just another fear-based, fear-mongering, GED non-graduating, indignant ass individual in society who don't have the intellectual capacity, who don't have the spiritual capacity to move forward and to expand and to expound. You're a stuck bitch. And see, that's the problem with you stuck assholes, is y'all so triggered the fuck up by anything that's forward moving. You're so triggered up by anything you can't control. You're so triggered up by someone else's liberty, by someone else's goddamn freedom, because you ain't free your damn self, bitch. And I'm trying to give you a pass off the plantation, ho. That mental plantation that you live on every day, that emotional plantation that you restricted to every day, bitch. I'm getting my Harriet Tubman on and coming back for you, for motherfuckers just like you, the fucking bootlickers of the goddamn society, who too goddamn afraid to run for their own goddamn freedom and got the nerve to try to talk other motherfuckers out of their freedom. And I don't want these type of motherfuckers blocked, because I want them to bring something to the table. Convince me. Convince me. I want Loy Yatchy to convince me. I will drop the link for Loy Yatchy. Convince me of your way. Let's weigh them out. Let's weigh your proposal and my proposal to society out, and let the people cast their vote. Instead of you being the basic bitch who gets to feel good about yourself because you know that you get to dip in and out of this goddamn comment section instead of come up in this bitch and go toe to toe with me, because I will drop the link and allow you to propose your proposal to society, to the people. And let's see what you made of. Because if you got the plan to salvation, boo, I want to hear it. I want my people to hear it. Lord Yachi, do you need the link? I would hate for the YouTube stream box to reduce your thought by these limited characters. I would drop the link and let you run your dick sucker until you feel good. Lord Yachi seems to have all of a sudden disappeared. Lord Yachi seems to have all of a sudden found them something better else to do with their goddamn time. Because they've been caught to the carpet to be about it. And that's the problem with you basic cave dwelling ass motherfuckers. Is y'all like to come in and feel real motherfucking good in the comment section because you know you ain't got to put in that motherfucking work. Very cowardly, Mom Goody. Bitch assness, bussy energy, big coochie energy. What's going on, Phyllis? Good morning to you, dawg. Bitch, this is an open platform, boo. We ain't afraid of that bitch. We ain't afraid of that nigga. Okay, that cave dweller, honey. You ain't got to be pressed in the comment section. If you want to come up, I'll let you rock. Do I need to drop the link? I will let you rock. Because if you got something much better, baby, I want what's much better. I want to expose my people to what's much better. And if you got much better, if you offering much better, baby, you can have the link and you can rock, honey. If you got a better plan, if you got a better way, if you got a better perspective, if you got a better any motherfucking thing. If there's one thing that's inevitable, it is change. Ain't no way to stop it. You can prolong it. You can suspend it, but you cannot expel it. So this addiction to familiarity, this addiction to the expected, get over it. Man wouldn't even be in the technological age that he's in if it wasn't for change. Man wouldn't have went from horseback riding and horse and carriage to fighter jets, vehicles, airplanes, and rockets if it wasn't for change. Modern medicine wouldn't be where it would be if it wasn't for change. America wouldn't even be able to be a melting pot. One of the only goddamn countries where you get to have the entire world represented in the damn country. The entire world is literally in the goddamn United States. That's why the United States is having such an issue creating laws and legislations and balance, because we unfortunately have the burden of trying to appease a diverse group of people who are not unified, who are not a monolith. The American people are not a monolith. You have Asians, you have Asian Americans, African Americans, queer, cis, hetero, trans. You have every fucking thing is here. Okay? Now, that's beautiful as a concept, but it's also what makes American politics very, very fucking difficult. Because we have a melting pot. When we're talking about reparations, that's something that the melting pot, that's something that has to come out of the pockets of the melting pot. That you can't even do anything for one group that you can't do for another, or that won't cost another, because all the groups existing in one fucking barrel together. So I'm not surprised that American politics are crazy as hell, and that there's so much debauchery and division, because we're taking on a huge task and trying to appease a nation of people who are comprised of so many different types of people who require different things, who require different resources, who require unique assistance and aid and opportunity, reconciliation and reparation. You got a lot going on. I can see my son wearing something like that and slaying it, and I would be so proud of him as his 64-year-old. Oh my goodness. Bless you, Holiday CD. Bless you, bless you, bless you. My mama was very fear-based, as she was very resistant when I started expressing myself through clothes and fashion. She didn't know what it meant. You know, she had never seen nothing like it except for Prince. But after I started slaying it, honey, that slayage made sense to her. And then, she was with the shits then. So, it's the end goal here in this dialogue is we need to just do better intellectually. We need to expand our goddamn minds. We need to stop being so goddamn basic and simple about the way we see things and interpret things. It's time to go bigger. It's time to take the goddamn dialogue some fucking way else. It can't keep being about goddamn sexuality. Hold on, let me put his picture up one more time before I get the fuck up out of here. Like, it just can't keep being about the dress. I don't know why it just has to keep being about the goddamn dress. Like, it can't keep being about the dress. Like, every time black men do something innovative or do something effeminate, it just can't keep being about the sexuality. There's 50 million living goddamn things to do with these with these pop culture manifestations. The skirt can represent so many things. It can represent the fact that he's in touch with his femininity. It's a fashion statement. The skirt in and of itself can represent self-confidence, and that I only give a fuck about what I think, and I will go out into this world and let you all know that I don't give a fuck about what you think. I mean, there's so many things. It could be cultural. There's cultures in this world where men wear skirts. We already talked about the Scottish. We already talked about African men. We already talked about the fact that even within America, the Gothic community The goth community, their men wear skirts and boots. Like, this aesthetic is not new. And it only becomes a conversation piece when black men do anything creative outside of the standard, do anything outside of fucking tradition. Like, I just can't keep entertaining the gay. That's the only fucking, and it's just no wonder why this serpent ass system is getting so much over the American people's heads. I mean, we are literally so deaf, dumb, and stupid. We just don't do anything else with these topics, but keep them in the same stagnated ass, limited perspective in which we do. And there's 50 million 11 other goddamn things to entertain, and that these things can suggest about a person. And Lau Yachi, I didn't even bother to actually read the comments under your name. I just see your name because you're just a punk pussy bitch who refuses to actually say anything. And so I'm just gonna let you be free in our comment section until you ask for this link. Mods, don't even block this heathen, honey. Don't even block this old world heathen, honey. Let them freely reign. Okay? Because I'm not reading shit until Lau Yachi asks for the link or begins to say something of substance. And when I see other people in this chat who I know and respect, when I read y'all's comments and y'all say that Lau Yachi is saying something of substance or asking for the link, then I will look at the comment. Okay? Nope. Get over the world. You don't control women's bodies. You don't control men's body. People are going to do what the fuck they want to do, regardless of how much hell anybody attempts to fucking raise. Your opinions only matter to your fucking self. Live your life and find all the infinite ways to put a smile on your face, while other people like Russell Westbrook are doing just that. Finding all the 11 million ways to put a smile on his face, because he got one life to live, and so does every person in this chat. Okay? And your responsibility and job is not to be policing other people, but for you to be policing your goddamn self and figuring out what the highest manifestation of your happiness on this planet is, and what that requires from you. What career that requires for you to be happy, what amount of money that requires for you to be happy, whose attention on you that it requires for you to be happy, the way in which you need to serve and worship the divine that will make you happy. If we spent literally all of our time prioritizing what it takes for our lives to get to optimal joy and optimal happiness, the world would be a much more stable place. And maybe some of the things that we come together to talk about could actually be on a greater scale of priority than a congressional hearing over a fucking black man in a goddamn skirt. Ain't nobody said that Lau Yachi wants the goddamn link yet. You know why? Because Lau Yachi is a basic ass motherfucker. That's why, okay? And basic people want to stay in basic places. Can somebody approve to me when Lau Yachi has said something significant, honey? Because I see Lau Yachi's name, but I'm not allowing myself to read any other sentences, any other words, any other combinations of words that Lau Yachi is putting together under their name. So can somebody read Lau Yachi's statement and tell me if it is worth a response or not. Class. Phyllis says, take a look. The man in the mirror. Sometimes that's the problem. That's always the problem, child. Mom Goody says, son, absolutely nothing. Okay. Allow Yachi. You can hit the link. Do you want to hit the link? I mean, you in the comment section. Do you want to hit the link? I will drop the link for you. Do you want to hit the link? Do you want to? It's not a problem at all. I could drop the link. I love talking to you basic ass motherfuckers. I do. Now, my mods can't stand it, honey. They can't stand ignorant ass, slow, super slow bus ass people. But yeah, I love you motherfuckers. Okay, because you ain't gotta be bothering trying to find which keys on the keyboard. You can just run your mouth. I can drop the link. It's okay. I don't mind, honey. Express yourself. Because what he's typing, he needs to be bold enough to speak, but he ain't. And we done been here on the 2022 mark, child. I am out of here. You know, to be honest, when I had to restart my goddamn laptop, that shit like threw me over. Okay, like it literally just that restarted my whole goddamn brain, honey. Okay, it restarted my whole goddamn brain. This was supposed to be a 45-minute commentary, turned into almost 2.5 goddamn hours. Nonetheless, tonight we're going to be over on YB Entertainment's platform, honey. Me, Tremel, Carl, YB Entertainment, and Cats Meow are going to be live and in color Eastern Standard Time at 8 p.m., honey, to give you guys a roundtable discussion. YB have some interesting things on that docket, so please be on notice for that. I believe that the link to tonight's show is in the community wall. If not, I'll put it there. Also, there's going to be a 2 Men and a Lady episode over on the Wiley Show tonight, right after the roundtable, the Yes God roundtable. So y'all can catch me right after YB's panel, right on Wiley Show, okay, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, baby. So it's gonna be a lot going on tonight. I'm gonna get in here and take me a goddamn nap. I'm tired. I ain't been asleep yet, so I can be well rested. Okay. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.